everyone. We continue to video 12 of reading our book, The Gifts of Imperfection. We just got to chapter 4, The Things That Get in the Way. In 2008, I was invited to give a talk at a very special event called the UP Experience. I really like the couple sponsoring the event, so without giving it much thought, I excitedly agreed to do it. Well, you know how things always sound better when they're far away and I lost it, and you don't know the details. This was one of those things. I accepted the invitation in late 2008 and never thought about it again until 2009. When the list of speakers was published on the UP Experience website. Suffice it to say that it was an overwhelmingly prestigious list of folks and me. The event was billed as 16 of the world's most exciting thought leaders and speakers. One mind-opening day. I freaked out. I couldn't imagine sharing the stage with Robert Ballard, the archaeological oceanographer who located the Titanic, Gavin Newsom, the mayor of San Francisco, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the astrophysicist who hosts NOVA and runs the Hayden Planetarium, and David Plouffe, the genius behind Obama's presidential campaign. And that's just 4 of the 15. On top of trying to manage feeling like a complete imposter, I was terrified about the format. The event was modeled after the TED Talks, www.ted.com, and each speaker would have only 20 minutes to share their most innovative ideas with what they were calling a C-suite audience, an audience of mostly CEOs, CFOs, COOs, and CIOs, who were paying $1,000 for the one-day event. Seconds after I saw the list of speakers, I called my friend Jen Lemon and read the list of names to her. After the last name, I took a deep breath and said, "I'm not sure about this." Even though we were on the phone and she was thousands of miles away, I could see her shaking her head. "Put your measuring stick away, Brené." I bristled. "What do you mean?" Jen said, "I know you. You're already thinking about how to make your 20-minute talk super researchy and complicated." I still didn't get it. "Oh, well, yes, of course, I'm going to be researchy. Do you see the list of people? They're like grown-ups." Jen chuckled. "Do you need an age check?" Dead silence on my end. Jen explained, "Here's the thing. You're a researcher, but your best work isn't from the head. It's talking from the heart. You'll be fine if you do what you do best. Tell stories, keep it real, keep it honest." I hung up, rolled my eyes, and thought, "Tell stories? You gotta be kidding. Maybe I could do a little puppet show too." Normally, it takes me a day or two to develop a talk. I never speak from notes, but I normally have a visual presentation and an idea of what I want to say. Not this time, though. A puppet show would have been easier. I was paralyzed for weeks over this presentation. Nothing was working. One evening, about 2 weeks before the event, Steve asked, "How's your UP talk coming along?" I burst into tears. It's not coming along. I don't have shit. I can't do it. I'm going to have to fake a car wreck or something. Steve sat down next to me and grabbed my hand. What's going on? This isn't like you. I've never seen you unravel like this over a talk. You do these things all the time. I buried my head in my hands and mumbled, I'm blocked. I just can't stop thinking about this horrible experience that happened several years ago. Steve sounded surprised. What experience? I never told you about it, I explained. He leaned toward me and waited. 5 years ago, I bombed a talk like I had never bombed before or since. It was a total disaster. And I'm so afraid that it's going to happen again. Steve couldn't believe that I had never told him about my disastrous experience. What in the hell happened? Why didn't you tell me? I got up from the table and said, I don't want to talk about it. It will just make things worse. He grabbed my hand and pulled me back to the table. He looked at me and I've been waiting my whole life to use your line against you, Wei. Don't we need to talk about the hard things? Doesn't talking always make it better? I was too tired to fight, so I told him a story. 5 years ago, when my first book came out, I was asked to speak at a women's networking lunch. I was so excited because, like the UP experience, I would be speaking to a group of normal people, not therapists or academics, but normal business people. In fact, this event was my first normal audience group. I arrived early at the Swanky Country Club where the event was being hosted, and I introduced myself to the woman in charge. After sizing me up for what felt like an eternity, she greeted me with a stack of short pronouncements. Hello, you don't look like a researcher. I'm going to introduce you. I need your bio. It was an uptight twist on nice to meet you. But okay, I handed her my bio, and that was the beginning of the end. She read it for 30 seconds before she gasped, turned to me, and peering over her reading glasses, snapped, This says that you're a shame researcher, isn't that true? All of a sudden, I was 10 years old in the principal's office. I hung my head and whispered, Yes, ma'am, I'm a shame researcher. With her lips pursed and popped. Do you study anything else? I couldn't tell her. Do you? She demanded. Yes, I also study fear and vulnerability. She shrapsed, which is like a combo shriek and gasp. I was told that you collected research on how to be more joyful and how to have more connection and meaning in our lives. Got it. She didn't know anything about me. She must have heard about me from someone who failed to mention the nature of my work. Now, it all made sense. I tried to explain. I don't really study how to be joyful and have more meaning in our lives. I know a lot about these topics because I study the things that get in the way of joy, meaning, and connection. Without even responding to me, she walked out of the room and left me standing there. Oh, the irony of a shame researcher standing in a puddle of, I'm not good enough. She came back a few minutes later, looked right over the top of my head and said, Here's how things are going to go. Number 1, you're not going to talk about the things that get in the way. You're going to talk about how-to part. That's what people want to hear. People want how to. Number 2, do not mention the word shame. People will be eating. Number 3, people want to be comfortable and joyful. That's all. Keep it joyful and comfortable. I just stood there in the total shock. After a few quiet seconds, she asked, okay? And before I could say anything, she answered for me. Sounds good. Then, just as she started walking away, she turned around and said, light and breezy. People like light and breezy. And just in case I wasn't clear, she spread her fingers far apart and made a huge sweeping gesture with her hands to illustrate light and breezy. For 40 minutes, I stood in front of this group, totally paralyzed, and repeating different versions of joy is good, happy is so good. We should all be joyful and have meaning because they're so just good. The women in the audience just smiled, nodded, and ate their chicken. It was a train wreck. By the time I ended the story, Steve's face was all scrunched up and he was shaking his head. He's not a big fan of public speaking, so I think he was staving off his own anxiety as he listened to my story. Let's continue the rest in the chat in the video 13. See you soon.